Dolly Rebecca Parton grew up in extreme poverty in Appalachian, Tennessee, and over the course of a legendary 60-year and counting career would become one of the most important artists in country music. A singer, a songwriter, an actor, a producer, an entrepreneur, and a philanthropist, Dolly has basically done it all, and she's done it all better than almost anyone. Dolly has released 50 albums and more than 200 singles dating back to 1959's Puppy Love and going up to 2025's If You Hadn't Been There. So join the great pop culture debate as we pay tribute to a true American icon as we attempt to name the best Dolly Parton single. I may not have flaming locks of auburn hair or eyes of emerald green, but I might still try to steal your man like that tramp Jolene. I'm your host, Eric Rezsnyak. Please say hello, Dollies, to my panel. Our first panelist hails not far from Dolly's Tennessee mountain home. It's Curtis Creekmore. Curtis, does that make you a hillbilly?
We prefer Hill William, Eric, but yes.
Well, aren't you fancy? Oops, wrong country diva. Thanks to Dr. Shirley's advice, he's never walked in heels on a soggy lawn. It's Jonny Minogue.
Straight talk is the only thing straight I've ever done. Well, until my Invisalign treatment is done, then we'll have two.
Exactly. Deal with that, James Woods. And finally, we have a special guest for this episode. He's a longtime Dolly superfan, has been a friend to the show since the very beginning, and is known to wear coats of many colors. Please welcome great pop culture debate debut, Kevin Rice.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here from Brighton, the land of rats and dreams.
And dreams in his Dolly Parton smock, ladies and
yes,
gentlemen.
It's definitely one of those late night edible Facebook purchases. And if you look at her like close, you can tell it's really not Dolly Parton.
That's Trixie Mattel.
Right, from far, it's definitely got the Dolly look, but you can tell they did not get the rights to print her on a caftan.
It's good from afar, but far from good, as Dolly herself would say.
Chat JPT Dolly.
Amen. Amen.
And up in the producer booth, we have Derek Makita, who will be working 9 to 5 to keep this group on a schedule. What a way to make a living. If you're curious about how we ended up with this Sweet 16, become a Patreon supporter of our little show, or listen to the 3-minute preview available wherever you listen to podcasts. And don't forget, you can head to this episode on greatpopculturedebate.com to find the listener bracket as well as all 16 nominated songs, so you can play along with us at home. While you're there, check out some of our other related episodes, including Best Country Music Female Artist, Best Whitney Houston Song, and Best Steel Magnolias Movie Quote, all available at greatpopculturedebate.com. With that out of the way, baby, I'm burning, so let's get into these debates. First up, the panel voted unanimously to take up with ultimate number 1 seed Jolene, meaning that 4 seed My Tennessee Mountain Home would be abandoned for this bracket. But Curtis, you wanted to speak about Tennessee, as I did a terrible and offensive Southern accent.
Yeah, thanks. Don't do that anymore. It's just such a... It brings me home. It takes me home. I'm literally... So my hometown is maybe a little bit more than an hour away from where Dolly grew up. Those are my people. And that song specifically it's almost like a hymn. It's literally like... It's so... I say repetitive, but it's not a bad thing. It's just... It's very simple and... It gets the message across and it tells a story. And I think that's what I love about Dolly's music most is she's such a storyteller. And the stories that she tells are vivid and you're there with her. And you can see like the dew on the grass and the smoke on the hills and all of it when she sings. I love that song, but I understand why it's going out.
It's up against Jolene.
Yep.
And
that's me.
Not
I'm
only her
Jolene.
man, she's taken all them votes, so we will be moving Jolene into round 2. Next, the panel is evenly split between 3 seed, 2 doors down, and why'd you come in here looking like that? A 2 seed. Curtis, tell us why you want to keep having a party with 2 doors down. Jonny, these people are almost giving me a heart attack by voting against why'd you come in here looking like that. Tell us why this song is still a cowgirl's dream. Jonny, please go first.
Well, I had my beta blocker, so I'm okay with not having heart attacks. I don't care who the hell walks in. So Why'd You Come In Here Looking Like That is from 1989, and it was the first single off of her White Limousine, Zeen, because if you're in a white limousine, that's how you spell it. And this is like her first foray back into full-on country music. Since she's been for the last decade and a half doing all pop music or crossover, so she's really getting back into it. So this particular song was written by Bob Carlyle and Randy Thomas. Who are they? They are a Christian act, probably most famous for the Schmaltz Fest song Butterfly Kisses.
Oh my God, stop.
Oh honey,
Yeah, no, that's
Butterfly kisses.
I'd like to
Ugh.
preemptively change my vote, but go on.
Yeah. This is probably her horniest song, which is also ironic because this is written by a Christian act. She is singing about this guy who's coming in his high heel boots and his painted on jeans. The visual there is undeniable because I know that man. When I've gone dancing in Austin, I've seen those boys.
You are
And-
that man when you go dancing in Austin.
It is every cowgirl's dream, whether real or fake. And the lyrics are just, it's just her having a good time, checking out these hot pieces of trade, walking in. The video also does a good job of bringing that to life. Dolly is sitting in an audience in a theater, looking on stage where a trail of men come on and try to audition for her video. It's very reminiscent of the Tony Braxton "You're Making Me High" video.
Unbreak My
not
Heart.
as-
Oh, okay.
not
You're
as
making
horny.
me high.
You're making-
much hornier. Yeah.
Baby, much hornier. Well, I mean, it's Dolly still,
Yeah.
but it fits that works, and it has guys in some hopeless, some shirtless, some in chaps, and some all of those, and it's a lot of fun. And who doesn't love a good red flag when you got a soft-hearted woman and a hard-headed man? He's gonna make me feel just as bad as he can. Who hasn't felt that way before? So it's a fun little ditty.
It sure is. You lost me at Butterfly Kisses, but Curtis, talk to me about Two Doors Down.
I feel you that.
That Butterfly Kisses is like a very painful memory from my elementary days.
Triggered.
Yep, for sure.
I was working in a rotisserie restaurant when that song was popular, so all I think about is chicken grease.
Just chickens rotating and
Why the hell is there anything called a rotisserie restaurant? Was it a Boston market? Like
It was Congress Rotisserie. It was Hartford, Connecticut's version of that.
Oh my goodness.
My God.
Okay.
So Two
Well,
Doors Down, Curtis.
Yes. As I always say, this is a tough matchup. But Why'd You Come In Here Looking Like That is a bop. It's fun. It's flirty. It's literally everything that Jonny just said. I love it, but I love Two Doors Down more. Two Doors Down is like peak Dolly. It is that signature blend of heartbreak and hope that she does so well in her storytelling. The lyrics are genius. A party on one side of the hotel, a woman who just wants to cry on the other. It is the
Me,
ultimate.
I'm that woman.
I know you're there. You were
Yeah.
that crying woman.
Yeah.
It's the fake it till you make it anthem. Like you're wallowing, you hear a party, you decide to join in, and what do you know? You have a good time. It's the message that we all need to hear. We actually performed this song in the chorus recently at our Dolly concert, and we learned the story behind it, which is that she had recently decided to go on a diet. And she was like drinking her Slim Fast, and she hears the party of her band down the hall, and they had gone to like a crab pot, or like they had like something. They had lots of fried food. So
A
she literally
rotisserie chicken restaurant.
It may have been rotisserie chicken, but she sat there and she wrote this song with her feelings and her empty stomach about how she wanted Two Doors Down. They're laughing and drinking and having a party. She literally wrote the song about her experience. It takes us from sadness to joy. It is the perfect musical journey. It's not just a song, but is a story arc about finding happiness. And if you don't enjoy that, sorry.
How can you enjoy
Go Two
Dolly
Doors
Parton?
Down.
That's
Yeah.
right. Kevin Rice, are you going to go with Two Doors Down, or are you going to go with Why'd You Come In Here Looking Like That?
Well, Curtis had me at Slim Fast.
I know, right?
God, how many times have I stuck in my condo with Slim Fast and nothing else? So, oh my God. And that makes your head go crazy. God knows what you can write with. That makes you so creative. I agree with Curtis. I think that song was such Darley's young truth. And I think it's so important. I feel like the other song was definitely more poppy, which I love some of her poppy stuff. It's really fun and it really gets her out there. But when someone's young and really talking about their truth, it's just like it connects with you.
Yeah,
It totally. Connects to you. I just love that song. And again, we did just sing it in chorus, so we lived it for a while.
So, number one, they keep talking about the chorus. If you do not know and didn't listen to the Patreon warm-up, all three members of this panel were members of the Boston Gay Men's Chorus, bgmc.org, and they just did a Dolly Parton show back in June of 2025, correct?
Correct.
So if you are not familiar with the chorus, please go find them and go see these amazing gentlemen on stage this coming December. Number one, Jonny lost me with Butterfly Kisses, which is like boner killer in musical form. And Curtis won me with a song that's actually about crying about not being able to eat food. That is so relatable. And so for that reason, I'm switching my vote to Two Doors Down, which means, Jonny, were you going to say something?
I was like, I lost myself at Butterfly Kisses. Make it a
I want
sweep.
that. I want that on a T-shirt. I lost myself at Butterfly Kisses.
So we're making
That'll be in the merch next year.
Yep, exactly. We're making it a clean sweep for Two Doors Down.
I will
Next,
say, Eric, justice for any song that says here. She puts a Y in the word, why'd you come in here?
Yeah.
And I love it. I love that. I would have voted for it just because of that, but sorry. No, Two Doors Down moves forward.
I was voting for it strictly for the way she screams, why'd you come in? Like, it just makes me laugh so hard. Anyway, it's out.
And the video is really funny.
It is.
Like,
It's a great video.
It's just classic.
100. But we will be moving Two Doors Down into round 2. Next, it's another unanimous decision by the panel, which is reaffirming its vows to 1-seed I Will Always Love You, meaning that none of us wanted to keep playing with 4-seed Backwoods Barbie. But Curtis, you still think Dolly's Life in Plastic remains fantastic. Why don't you talk about it?
So this was another, in the chorus concert that we just did, we did a number called The Three Dollys, where we kind of looked at Dolly through her history. So my number was Dumb Blonde, which is one of her, I think maybe her first solo number, 1960s Dolly, very fun. The middle number was Backwoods Barbie, which was kind of like fast forward a couple decades, and you get Dolly appreciating herself. We mentioned during the Patreon warm-up that Dolly is always in on the joke. There are a lot of jokes to be made about this almost caricature of a woman, but she is so funny and rich, not in a money way, like rich in soul, that she is always in on the joke that you're making about her, because she knows she is I think she is the most confident woman maybe alive today, because how can you not be when you are able to laugh at yourself and be on the inside of those jokes? And Backwoods Barbie is kind of a testament to that, and an embracer of this is who I have been and this is who I've become, and I love myself for it. And the words of that song are really sweet. I understand why it goes out here. It's not like an amazing song, but again, Dolly is such a great storyteller that the story is worth listening to.
Yeah, and I think this one comes off of her Backwoods Barbie album, which I'm going to say is 2010s. And it's kind of a little bit the beginning of the sunset phase of her career. Although, God bless her, she's still out there working. And in fact, her most recent full album, Rockstar from 2023, is actually her highest charting album ever on the Billboard. I see that Johnny Minogue is wearing some merch from that album. So she's still out there going. But I think Backwoods Barbie was kind of like the beginning of the retrospective for Dolly and her career. But it's up against I Will Always Love You. So sadly, it's going out here. Next, it's another split decision, this time between 3-seed Baby I'm Burnin' and Kenny Rogers' duet Islands in the Stream, a 2-seed. Curtis, be hot as a pistol, let's flame in desire as you stoke the chances of fire. Kevin, tell us why tender love is blind and requires dedication, like what you have for Islands in the Stream. Kevin, would you mind going first?
Oh, Islands in the Stream came out when I was a kid, and it was just huge. You couldn't, it was back in the day when you didn't have cable. You had like 4 stations.
Yep.
So Saturday night, the Mandrells, they were on it. Like it was just such a, Kenny Rogers was huge. He was like the Elvis of his time.
Yep.
Like he was throwing handkerchiefs at women just like Elvis did. Like people want to see him. He was selling out everywhere. He was in residence everywhere.
Yep.
So he was really, really, really big. And for her to join him, and that was the back in the Enquirer and Star days, where people would, whoever Dolly was singing with, they would say that they're hooking up. This is going on, and what's going on with it. People wanted them together, and it was so funny because they're both really good at keeping a lot of their stuff quiet and their background secret. But they were always on the like American Music Awards, like any kind of award show. And back then, you watched award shows.
Absolutely.
Like that's all you did. The country music industry said it's one of the best duets of all time.
Yeah.
It's like 104 or something, and it's. It's funny to me going going through all this with you is that a lot of my favorite songs that Dolly did they were written for her. And she's such a great writer. But like, and I love the songs she's written. I love her old stuff that she wrote, and I love really reading about it. But this was written by the Bee Gees.
Yep.
And they were definitely in a place where they needed hits because
Correct.
they were so killed because of disco.
Yep.
Disco died. This is like 1983 or 1982 when this came out. So this is a really big hit for them. This is a really good comeback for them. And it was originally written for Diana Ross, which is really cool. They wanted the kind of like a Marvin Gaye appeal to it. So it's amazing that they even got it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting to wonder how that all went down back in the day. But it was also, I think, it's right after 9 to 5.
It would be like 2 years after 9 to 5, yeah.
Yeah, so Dolly was big and she was staying big. This is a way to keep her going, keeping her momentum up. But the song was amazing. It's such a fun, light. That's when alternative. Was it?
Adult contemporary.
Adult contemporary was so popular.
Yeah.
Like along with everything else. And what I love about it, which cracks me up, it knocked Totally Eclipse of the Heart off the charts.
Oh my God! Turn around, Bright Eyes.
For number one, it knocked poor Bonnie Tyler got knocked out.
That is fascinating.
But I think it's just an enjoyable song.
It is. It's so lovely. Baby I'm Burning is also lovely, but in a completely different way. Curtis, you want to talk about that one?
Yeah, and I feel like this has just become a retrospective on the Boston Gay Men's Chorus because I had to listen to Islands in the Stream so many times because my husband, the lovely Michael Barber, who used to be a podcast member, that was his solo. So he was rehearsing it all the time. And I can tell you that without a doubt, that song makes no sense. If you actually listen to the words make no sense. Let me read them to you. I can't live without you if the love was gone. Everything is nothing if you got no one. And you did walk in that night, slowly losing sight of the real thing. What? That sounds like a fever dream. That makes no sense to
It's
me.
a Saturday Night Fever dream. It was written by the Bee Gees.
It is, and
this is what happens in Australia. Just go with that.
Okay. It's an iconic song. It's like the perfect duet. I get all of that. It's sweet. It's romantic. It's great. But it's not Baby I'm Burning. Baby I'm Burning is pure, unadulterated disco Dolly. It is the song of what happens when a country queen decides, you know what, I'm going to light up a dance floor, literally, and she succeeds. It's from Heartbreaker, the album, and it's a track that it just makes you want to move, honestly. The strings, the beat, the way her voice really soars into the chorus. It's a totally different vibe than we get in a lot of other Dolly music because it's raw and sexy in a way that she hasn't done much of.
Yeah.
Dolly's genius is that it's playful and flirtatious. And that's what I think really, that's who Dolly is. It is energy unleashed. And I think it just makes me want to dance. And if I'm going to take that over a song that doesn't make sense any day.
Right. So, Jonny, is that going to be Baby I'm Burning or is there going to be Islands in the Stream?
You know what you get when you put these two songs together? Kenny Rogers Roasters.
Don't eat that chicken. Mess you up.
No.
How do we have a second chicken reference?
I
in
don't
this
know.
podcast?
I don't know.
This episode is brought to you by Purdue.
This one I was preparing. The other one was completely off the cuff. With that being said, I'm going to Studio 54 with Dolly. So Baby I'm Burning.
So I'm sticking with the real thing, Islands in the Stream.
What is the real thing, Eric?
It's what we've got. This could be the year for the real thing.
This could be the year for the
be
real
the year.
thing. It won't be. It's
I
2025.
love it. This song, I hear what you're saying about Disco Dolly, and I love Disco Dolly, but Islands in the Stream, you put it on, and I'm just swaying my tits. It's you're just kind of going along. You're in the stream. You're in the stream with the islands. It's bringing you there, and so it is a split decision. And Islands in the Stream is a 2 seed. Baby I'm Burning is a 3. Fun fact: Baby I'm Burning actually was not a huge hit for Dolly. It was a moderate hit. It became way more popular when it was featured on the lip sync on RuPaul's Drag Race season 9. It was Alexis Michelle versus Pheromone after the roast. Look it up. There was an article about it, the Spotify stream went up by 4,000% because of its inclusion in that episode. Swear to God that is true. But that being said, we will be moving Islands in the Stream into round 2. Next, it's like a roller coaster at Dollywood, folks. We're going to go blast through 3 more unanimous picks picks by our panel, as 1 seed 9 to 5 has Silenced, 4 seed Straight Talk, 2 seed Hard Candy Christmas will be fine and dandy into round 2 after it clipped the wings of 3 seed Eagle When She Flies, and 1 seed Here You Come Again has made sure that 4 seed Joshua will stay alone in his shack. But I do want to at least speak on Joshua before we move on. Joshua was an early hit for Dolly, and it's lovely. It's basically rooted in stories from her home in Appalachia, as many of her early songs are. And listening to it now, Dolly Parton, if you're listening to this podcast, you should mute this for the next 30 seconds. Listening to this song, I was like, this is the intro to a porn movie. It's literally a young, poor woman who hears about this mean old man living in a shack by himself, and she goes to investigate him and finds that he's, quote, the biggest man I ever seen, and describes him with long black hair and a big full beard. And they start talking, and then suddenly they love each other, and she lives with him now. And I was like, I would watch that movie. I would like to see that film. Obviously, I'd like some gender swapping on behalf of the young woman who's finding Mr. Joshua, but I'm fully into it. So that being said, Dolly, you can unmute now. We're taking.
She heard that.
She heard that.
Right.
She's Dolly. She can hear everything. But we are going to move Here You Come Again into round 2. We have one more matchup in round 1, as the bulk of the panel believes the 2 seed Coat of Many Colors is rich in authenticity, but Jonny is directing his gaze toward 3 seed Light of a Clear Blue Morning. Kevin, see if you can piece together a patchwork argument for Coat of Many Colors. Jonny, tell us why you continue to see light in round 2. Jonny, please go first.
I do see the light. It's right in front of me. I wish I had a ring light, though. I'm a little dark under
All
this.
of us have bad. We have bad lighting. I'm sorry if you're watching. We're learning this video thing. Be patient with us.
Yeah, I have. It's like if this was the best Mimi song, there would be ring lights everywhere. So in any event, so let's talk about Light of Clearborn Morning. So this was released in 1977 on March 21st, the very first day of the Western Zodiac. So it's really the morning of that year. So this was her first song on the New Harvest First Gathering album, which was her first foray into a crossover. And it's a song that has almost a gospel feel to it. It starts off very low, very quiet. I see the light of Clearborn Morning. It's almost like as you're listening to her sing, the sun is rising and it gets above the horizon, and then when it crescends at the bridge, it gets there and the sun is beating down on you. It is a clear blue morning. She says it in such a beautiful way. It's honky-tonk, jazzy gospel in a great little rock melange. It's beautiful. And if you will listen to our best drinking song, I'd like to count repeated lyrics.
Yes.
And this time she says, I see the light of a clear morning 12 times.
12 times.
12 times. So it's a whole dozen. So you get a dozen eggs, a dozen clear blue mornings. She talked about how this song was her being released from the Porter Wagner years. This is a few years after she and Porter said split, which makes it sound a little more snarky and a little more vindictive when you know that, because if you just don't know about that song and about the background of it, you wouldn't think anything of it. I just find it to be really beautiful. I did not know it before we sang it for this cycle in the Boston Gay Men's Chorus, but I'm glad I did. And I think it just evokes just the heavenly celestial world of like a beautiful, beautiful morning, even if it came from a bad place.
Thank you, Jonny. Kevin, talk to us about Coat of Many Colors.
Well, before that, I do love that song as well. I can see the light of a clear blue. It is the best tenor one song ever out of all the songs. And it was my favorite song to sing in the concert. It was just so enjoyable, and I sang it at a wedding right after the next week at a wedding, and we had to speak, and I got to speak, and I just sang that as part of my speech. It was so funny. I pulled it out. It's such a good song and so easy to sing, and it's beautiful, whatever. But like you said, I didn't know it before the concert. So that's one thing. Coat of Many Colors, not my favorite song to sing in the concert. But I mean, it has so many layers. but I do have the picture of the actual coat. It is from the book that I have of Dolly's songbook. Look at the actual. Would you not buy that marine layer? Come on.
I think it's so cute, honestly. Like in the song, she makes it sound like the kids are like, "Oh, it's ugly." I'm like, these kids. Hello, who we've never heard of the United Colors of Benetton?
It's all corduroy.
Get some culture.
There are kids
color
in
blocking.
There are kids in Bushwick who would pay $400 for that.
Absolutely right.
It's
color blocking was very 80s, 90s, like that, and that's back in. Gen Z has been stealing all the clothes out of their parents' closets, so you probably see that on on the streets of New York right now.
And I'm too old to wear it, but I wear it. I don't give a shit.
Absolutely.
And then on the second page of the book, it shows that she wrote it on Porter Wagner's receipt for his dry cleaning. Because she said she used to just pick stuff up and write on it. It's so cool. But I mean, the reason why I think it's so important is that the song means so many things. I mean, it's like people can relate to it. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I went to school. My mother had cut my tuna fish sandwiches into stars. And so I was on the bus and I had my little star sandwich and all the kids were making fun of me. And I was like crying. I'm like, my mother's so freaking creative. It was so funny. Like, I mean, I can't believe you let something get to you that, your mother tried something new and something different. Poet of Many Colors is about bullying. It's about being yourself. It's about accepting people. I think it's, was a really great way for Dolly to break free and help other people. And also being like, you know what? I'm like you. You think I have it all together. You think my life is perfect. You think, everything is great, but actually this is where I came from and look at how I survived. So it's a great survival story for the times.
It is.
And it resonates today.
For sure. It is kind of an origin story for her. She has a bunch of those, but that one really resonates for me as like a Dolly origin story. Curtis Creekmore, is it going to be Light of a Clear Blue Morning or Coat of Many Colors?
Light of a Clear Blue Morning?
Yeah, that one.
It's Coat of Many Colors. It's one of my favorite songs, and I'd love to talk about it more. And I think it's going to move forward, so I'm not going to say much now.
It is, because I'm also voting for Coat of Many Colors. So we'll be moving that into round 2. And that's the end of round 1, folks. We're going to take a quick break to check out that party happening 2 doors down. And we'll be back for round 2 of our best Dolly Parton single debates. Before we get into the Elite 8, I'd like my panelists to share their social media, what else they're working on, and their first exposure to the works of Ms. Dolly Parton. Curtis Creekmore, who has changed things out for his Jesus Christ mixed with Louis XIV blowout. Where can people find you, what you're working on, and how did you become exposed to Dolly?
I mean, I'm on most things at Curtitch, Curtitch. This is not Jesus Christ or Louis the 14th or whoever the hell you said. This was actually, I purchased this wig because I thought about, I was going to audition for Drag Race, and for Snatch Game, my Snatch Game character would be Dixie Carter.
Carter.
Yes, from Designing Women, and it's a drag version of Dixie Carter. So, but I love it. It's amazing. Any excuse to put on a big wig. I'm not working on anything other than this podcast and work, which is taking up way too much of my time. But as I mentioned earlier, I am from Appalachia, so I share that with Dolly. She was obviously much more impoverished than me and my crew, but I did grow up poor. Like, I'm not gonna pussyfoot around it. Like, I was on free and reduced lunch, if y'all know what that is. Like, I share, and my grandparents' house. Okay, go to Google and look up my Tennessee mountain home. The picture that shows up when you Google that song looks just like my grandparents' house. Like, that's what I went to every Sunday. So I know, like, those are my people. Dolly is my people. I've always loved her. There is a reason that my drag name is Jolene. So oddly enough, I didn't realize that her middle name is Rebecca, which is my first drag name ever, Rebecca Matthews. So I think we are cosmically linked.
You are.
If you are watching this on YouTube or wherever the hell we have it up, did you know that Dolly has her own line of cosmetics? I didn't until this most recent concert when I was one of the 3 Dollys. She has amazing lipsticks that
you have to put your hand behind it like an influencer.
Oh my God, I can't. I'm not that young.
Okay.
No, hold on. Let me turn off my light because I've got my light going on, and that might make it. There we go. She has her own lipsticks.
Beautiful.
That are like switchblade. So you press a button and it pops out. It is real cool. She's got lip gloss. She also has her own line of fragrances that are called Scent From Above, SCENT, From Above. I can't find that bottle, but they're real cute. I bought the whole fucking lot. I bought every bit that I could. I love Dolly Parton. She is the most amazing human being alive today. She has done so much for humanity outside of the music. She is an amazing human being. And I know that if you're listening to this, you already know, but go look it up. She is helping kids to read with her billions, whatever money she has, she is making good in this world. And that's why I look up to her so much and why I have used her as a part of who I am.
I love that. And I just want to cap that off by saying Dolly Parton would want you to wear a wig without any excuse. So I think she
Absolutely.
would want this. So thank you very
Absolutely.
much. Jonny Minogue, where can people find you? What else are you working on? And how did you become acquainted with Ms. Dolly Parton?
So you can find me on pretty much everything as Jonny Minogue, one word, no H, like Kylie and Danny. And I am at Club Cafe on Tuesday night hosting trivia from 8 to 10. So you can reserve your table at clubcafe.com/reserve. I hope to see you there. It's a grand old time. And we got some great themes coming up this season: Sex and the City, Friends, and Housewives. And we're going to do one special on my birthday, which I'm really excited about. So I didn't grow up in Appalachia. I grew up in Connecticut from parents from Philadelphia, so country music wasn't really in their repertoire. I remember seeing Sesame Street one time, and they had a parody act called Polly Darton, and I thought that was who was the singer, Polly Darton, and my mom was like, no, it's Dolly Parton. And then I remember seeing her on, I think it was like American Bandstand or Solid Gold, one of those shows, and she was on there promoting one of her songs, and she's like, I was like, that's Polly Darton. And it's like, no, that's Dolly Parton. So I still every once in a while, especially I've had one too many high noons, will still call her Polly. So that's how I know about her. And because I'm an aficionado of wigs too, maybe not as expensive as Miss Jesus over there, I do my best.
It's blonde, and blondes have more fun.
They do.
Miss Jesus for season 18.
Miss Jesus for season 18. Thank you very much. Kevin Rice, he's back.
Hello.
And he's brought with him an extra special guest, the man, the myth, the icon. It's Harrison Rice.
It's Harrison Rice. Yes, he's here. Dolly Parton loved Boston Terriers. She had one named Popeye. It was her first dog with her husband. So, and I love looking at the pictures because the Boston Terrier looks nuts like this one. But yeah, he's my little prop. But he's going to go down back to his little world because he's tired of it anyway.
Goodbye, Harrison. We love you.
Bye, Harry. Love you. See you in a minute. I can be found on Kevin D. Rice on anything. I work for a camp called the Hole in the Wall Gang Camp forever, and I bring camp to the hospitals in Boston, all the pediatric hospitals. Today, it is Camp Days at Boston Children's. It's Fish Week, so I did Shark Day yesterday. I did a big fishing derby today, and tomorrow we're racing cars down a big track with little fish bowls in it with fish in it that can fly off the thing. It was a lot going on.
Something fishy, just like Dolly Parton's song.
Going on. So I've been like nonstop playing with families and children at Boston Children's. So I coordinate a lot of activities and big events for the hospital, and I'm right in the midst of our camp days at the hospital. It's hilarious.
Lovely.
It's really fun. So
if people want to find out more information about Hole in the Wall and specifically learn, because it helps kids who are dealing with cancer, correct?
It's hematology, oncology, special blood disorders, rare diseases. You never know if you're, if someone that has a serious problem, if they can fit into our what we do. You can always call.
Yeah.
And find out. But holeinthe-wallgang.org.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah. And how did you first become acquainted with Miss Dolly Parton?
Well, I always knew Dolly growing up because she was at kind of like the height of her pop career when I was little. So I think I was 10 or 11 when 9 to 5 came out. And we had a family party. I memorized every word, or as we used to say back then, I learned it by heart. And I sang it in front of my whole family at a party. So it's just hilarious that little gay 10-year-old got up and I was like, some of the bit into like I knew the whole thing. I was obsessed with it.
I can 100% envision little Kevin Rice doing this. Incredible.
I remember to this day, I got up and I'm like, I'm just going to do it. Did it for my grandparents, my uncles, aunts. I was just like, yay! Here we go. Something's fishy.
Indeed. Well, thank you so much. We could not have done a Dolly Parton episode without you. So I'm so glad
such a pleasure. Thank you. And I also have my little nightlight that one of my friends gave me from Corey.
And she guides you in the night.
Turn on your Dolly light.
She only looks slightly terrifying.
Again. Probably not. They probably did not get the rights to use her.
Official license Dolly,
No,
absolutely.
it was not there.
Excellent. So the best place to follow us is on Blue Sky at gpcd.bsky.social or at Great Pop Culture Debate on Instagram or TikTok. You should also make sure to subscribe to our page on YouTube where we're posting original video content. But what you really must do right this very minute is sign up for our weekly newsletter. It comes out every Tuesday at noon and tells you about everything coming out in pop culture that week. Sign up by finding the link on this episode at greatpopculturedebate.com or via our link tree on any of our social media accounts. I also distinctly remember watching 9 to 5 with my mother, eating pizza bagels on the couch, and I think that was my first introduction to Dolly Parton. And I was like, who is this magnificent creature? And I fell in love with her. She's basically a drag queen as a woman, and it just spoke to everything that I wanted, and I thought she was fabulous then. I think she's fabulous now, and she will, as Curtis said, always be one of the very best of us. She really has done incredible things for the world, and we are very lucky to live in a time with Dolly Parton. So let's get into round 2 while the grass is still blue. First up, the panel is giving another unanimous victory to 1 seed Jolene just because it can. And that means that 3 seed Two Doors Down is out of the bracket. Next, the bulk of the panel is holding out hope and a long note for 1 seed I Will Always Love You. But I am on my own island in the stream as I defend the Dolly and Kenny Rogers duet, a 2 seed. Curtis, tell us why you're still feeling the love for I Will Always Love You. I will explain why Islands in the Stream does something to me, and there is no doubt. Curtis, please go first.
Eric, if you vote for this song, I think we have to reevaluate our friendship. I will say this one time and one time only. There is a reason Whitney Houston covered this song. I love Islands in the Stream. Great duet, fun, Kenny Rogers. We already talked about it. But I Will Always Love You isn't cute. It is the definition of a power ballad. I Will Always Love You is arguably the greatest song ever written about a breakup. It is about letting go with love, with respect, and with a level of grace that most people can only dream of. The emotion in Dolly's voice, the sincerity in the lyrics are unmatched. She wrote it for Porter Wagner to tell him that she was leaving his show to go solo, but she wrote it with so much love and respect that he actually cried. You don't get that from Islands in the Stream. This is not a battle of good versus good. It's a battle of great versus legendary. I Will Always Love You has been covered by so many artists, again, for a reason. It is a song that speaks to the very core of human emotion, and it is her magnum opus. Sorry, Kenny, but this one is not close. And I can't swim.
I'm dead inside, so that's why the whole core of human emotion does nothing for me. No, I'm kidding. Listen, I know I'm going to lose here, and that's fine, but I wanted to speak on Islands in the Stream. I love this song. I've always loved this song. It's one of the first Dolly songs I became aware of. It's also the only Dolly duet on this list, which is kind of remarkable because she's had so many duets over. She's duetted with dozens of artists. Beyonce, Miley Cyrus, she's constantly duetting. And of course, her career really took off as a duet artist with Porter Wagner, right? You cannot discount how, as Kevin mentioned in round 1, Islands of the Stream was huge in 1983. It was absolutely massive. It had huge crossover appeal, receiving airplay on country, adult contemporary, and top 40 stations. It topped the Billboard 100 chart and went 3 times platinum. Dolly's version of I Will Always Love You did not do that. It didn't. And I just think we need to acknowledge that. It remains her most commercially successful duet, and it has been streamed more than 500 million times on Spotify as of this writing. I love the song. It's got an easy, carefree bop and sway. The lyrics are sweet, optimistic. Kenny and Dolly's voices are obviously well suited to one another. Might also have an issue with Will Always Love You being considered an exclusively Dolly song because it is more famous as done by another artist. She wrote it, but it is more famously performed by another artist. And we will talk about more of that in the final 4, because I'm pretty sure I'm still going to lose here. Jonny, you going with I Will Always Love You, or are you going to go with Islands in the Stream?
Forget the Islands. I'm with Always Love You.
Kevin Rice, you sticking with I Will Always Love You here?
I really enjoyed your rebuttal. It was fabulous because that Islands in the Stream was totally drilled into our heads because it was on top 40.
Yeah.
Like nonstop. That's when we listened to the radio.
Yep.
So it was like nonstop. And Whitney put that song on the map. And one of my favorite things ever on Johnny Carson back in the day is when Dolly Parton was on the show and she goes, I just want to thank Whitney Houston for making me a whole lot of money.
Yep. Yep,
It was,
absolutely.
I was like, and that's when I was like, oh my God, she wrote it. So I think it really boosted her career like crazy. But like, she
Yep.
wrote that.
Yep.
Let's do more research on this one. It was amazing.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, it's iconic. It is unfortunate that woman did play it in London like a million times over and over again back in the day. I Will Always Love You was like this big thing. She like played it over and over again. And poor Whitney's not with us anymore. But I think in the end, it's going to be what Dolly's remembered for.
Okay. So it's I Will Always Love You, which will continue into the final four. Next, the bulk of the panel is tumbling out of bed, stumbling to the kitchen, and pouring itself a cup of ambition as it defends 1-seed 9 to 5. But Kevin is hoping that Santa will bring an early present in the form of more votes for 2-seed Hard Candy Christmas. Jonny, I would like to think that 9 to 5 would deserve a fair promotion, but you'll need to convince us. Kevin, pretend you're working at the best little whorehouse in Texas as you sell Hard Candy Christmas. Jonny, please go first.
This is the song that launched a cottage industry, a movie, a soundtrack, an album, a musical, and an office supply percussion universe. So what do you want to say about, first of all, with 9 to 5? It was released in November 1980 to promote the movie with 9 to 5 with Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, which is iconic on its own. We could talk about that in another podcast. This was also part of another album that she put out. 9 to 5 and Odd Jobs. I actually had that hanging from my college dorm ceiling. It was inspired by the working women of the 70s and 80s, women coming back into the workplace. And there's actually an organization called 9 to 5, no spaces. It was all crammed together. And this song is bemoaning the working stiff's life and lot. It starts off, the first verse talks of hopeful, tumble a bit, stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition, and yawn and stretch and trying to come to life. All right, sounds great. Then we get to the chorus, and we're already saying, oh, fuck, this sucks. What, barely getting by. And it's like no giving, barely taken, and no given. All right, it's just going down from there. The boss is taking all the credit. Dabney Coleman, you know what? You're a piece of shit. Well, just his character, not the actor. R.I.P. He was lovely. It was inspired also the percussion by Dolly's nails. I actually in round 1 was putting these on to try to get the sound.
It's hard, yeah. You can't. It's hard to replicate it. But literally, that's right.
Yeah, if I had a better mic setup, I probably could get it. But it's like
it's coming through
maybe.
now.
There,
yeah.
okay, there we go.
There it was.
So she actually did a really good job in the 1987 interview with Patti LaBelle doing that. Check it out. It's on YouTube. It's amazing. The hair was 10 feet tall.
Legendary.
So it was number 1 in its time. It was the second country song to also hit the pop behind Harper Valley PTA. She received Academy Award nominations, Grammy Award nominations, receiving Best Country Song, Best Country Vocal. It was so big that poor Sheena Easton, when she tried to swim over from Scotland with her own 9 to 5, they said,
Go
you
home.
have to call that morning train, parentheses 9 to 5. Sorry, babe. It's like, get to the back of the train. Which is also funny because 9 to 5 was replaced by Morning Train on the top of the Billboard Hot 100. It is one of the most amazing songs of all time. It is upbeat, even though it has a kind of a sad message because it's like, fuck, it really sucks to work. It was number 78 on the American Pills Institute 100 years, 100 songs, and I do 10 to 6 now, so I have an adjusted schedules, but it doesn't really ring the same way. But in any event, it kind of speaks for itself. I think I've done enough.
Kevin Rice talked to me about Hard Candy Christmas, which every time you and I, the same thing. It's the, yeah.
My pearls, if I wore them, I'd be clutching them. Let me tell you, it's funny you mentioned Working Woman. Because Hard Candy Christmas comes from the original Working Woman. From
Absolutely.
That whorehouse.
Speak
if
on
that
it.
song was not from a whorehouse, it would have gotten a lot more play.
Yep.
It wouldn't be as controversial. Stuff like that. Of course I love 9 to 5. I sang it as a kid. It's so iconic. It was such a fun thing. It's women were running the show, and this movie was 3 women that were like doing amazing things. But Hard Candy Christmas, that song just speaks to me because it's, it's about these poor girls just trying to get ahead, and poor people trying to get ahead, and it just spoke to me. And that's the song you sing with your girlfriends or your friends. You're hanging out, and you're just like, you know what? Hey, maybe I'll lose some weight.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
right.
I'm gonna do this, but you know what? I'm gonna survive. It's
That's
a
right.
survival song. It's
I'll
a
be
total survival
fine.
song.
Mhm.
But and I think my issue with 9 to 5, which of course I'm not, I love 9 to 5. I just feel like it's been so overdone. Like I don't think it's an amazing song. I think it's really fun and poppy and kitschy and great, and it works well and people always love it. Like we were at the concert at Tanglewood, people yelling 9 to 5. I'm like, really? She's got better songs. But I think Hard Candy Christmas, I've done it in drag. I've sang it so many times. I remember watching it on the Bob Hope special when I was a kid. Rest his soul. God, who remembers Bob Hope? He was really old then too. The show was
Yeah.
barely like making it. And like it was on the thing about Hard Candy Christmas. It's almost like a sleeper hit.
Yeah.
I think it's almost like an underground song that people really love, that really speaks to them, that's not talked about as much. It was redone by so many people. Reba McEntire did it. I think RuPaul did it one year on his album Ho Ho Ho, like in '97. He did it with Michelle Visage. It was done by Leanne Rimes. Cyndi Lauper did it with Alison Krauss, who I love. Like there's some other groups, like hard rock groups, that did it. I mean, it's just such a fun, amazing song. And Dolly, I mean, she didn't write it, but she really put it on the map. And again, it's such a fun, it's such a beautiful, fun song about friendship, about moving on, about being resilient. And I love songs of resilience, where I think, 9 to 5 is great for the masses, but I feel like Hard Candy Christmas spoke to me.
Yeah, I hear you. And every time it plays, I do, and I text Kevin Rice. But Curtis Creekmore, is it going to be 9 to 5 or Hard Candy Christmas?
Okay. Changing my vote.
Are you really?
I'm going to Hard Candy Christmas. Yeah. And everything that Kevin said is absolutely true. It's just such a rich, I can't think of, which is hilarious to use that phrase with that song, but it's such a rich feeling of melancholy and true, we'll get through it. We will get through this. I think a lot of people don't even realize what the song title means, to have a hard candy Christmas. And it's because the only thing you got for Christmas that year was a piece of hard candy, because you were so fucking poor. You had nothing more. You had nothing more that your parents, who love you, who want the best for you, they could give you nothing more than just a piece of hard candy. But you knew that you would get through it and there would be a tomorrow. So I love a sad song. I love a song of resilience. I love 9 to 5, but I'm going to switch my vote.
Well, if you are a longtime listener of this podcast, you will know that I love two things. I love Christmas music, and I love songs about sex workers. And so Hard Candy Christmas is really hitting me in the feels. But that being said, I cannot in good conscience vote against 9 to 5 in a Best Dolly Parton single. I see Kevin Rice being offended.
I know. That's also why I changed my vote, because I was like, Eric's going to vote for 9 to 5, and I feel comfortable in doing this. But
I cannot in good conscience vote against it. It is iconic. Kevin's giving me the evil eye. I appreciate it.
Till you do right by me.
Everything you do gonna fail.
Don't tremble.
Well, what about this hard candy? I thought it was about cocaine. Isn't that what it's all about? That's the kind of hard candy.
That's your Hard Candy Christmas,
that is
and we should talk.
Kind.
That's a different. Yeah, that's a skiing adventure. But it is a 2-2, and 9 to 5 is a 1 seed. So we will be moving 9 to 5 into the final four. Finally, in round 2, 75% of the panel is welcoming back 1 seed. Here You Come Again. But Curtis is poor in votes as he pushes for 2 seed Coat of Many Colors. Curtis, tell us why you prefer this homespun country classic. I will defend Here You Come Again, and here I go. So, Here You Come Again is the title track for Dolly's 1977 album, her ninth, and it was her first real, serious attempt at mainstream crossover success, which obviously she succeeded. Here You Come Again was a big part of that. This is a rare case of Dolly having a massive hit with a song she did not write. It was actually originally intended as a comeback vehicle for Brenda Lee, who declined to do it. Oops. Dolly saw the crossover potential in the song, But she begged for the producer to include a steel guitar line in the track because she was terrified that without it, she would be accused of not being country enough. Flash forward roughly 40 years to Taylor Swift and her own struggles to branch into a broader audience without alienating her original one. The more things change, the more they stay the same. It was a big success for Dolly. It went platinum, it topped the country charts for several weeks, and it peaked at number 3 on the general Billboard 100, and it was nominated for a Grammy for Best Pop Vocal. Curtis, talk to us about why you think that Coat of Many Colors should continue here.
This is the battle of the Dollies, right? It's the battle of the country queen versus the pop crossover queen. And it's a tough one because Here You Come Again is a perfect pop country song. It's got the classic feel. It was a huge crossover hit. I love the vibe, and I love the musical pun that she includes, that every verse, that here you come again is a key change. And I didn't get that until really just recently. But here you come again are the first words that she uses every verse, and it's like a key change. So like every time he comes again, it's a different time, it's a different key. I love that. And Coat of Many Colors is on a different level for me. It isn't just a song, it is a piece of her soul. It is an autobiographical masterpiece, and it tells the story of her childhood, poverty, and her mother's love. It's beautiful, and it's something that I really connect to because of having grown up in Appalachia, in a family that, we never went hungry. I don't want people to think like, oh, Curtis, poor, impoverished Curtis. No, we were never hungry. I always had clothes. I was nowhere near where Dolly Parton was, but I felt that. I know those people. I knew who that was because a lot of my family probably was closer to that. Like, I get it. It is a testament to the fact that money can't buy you love or happiness, and that a mother's love is the most precious thing in the world. It is one of the most powerful and honest songs that I think was ever written in any genre. It is the storytelling song. Dolly Parton is known for her storytelling, and this is, none of the words rhyme really, like none of the verses. There's no like continuous song throughout it. Like it's such an interesting piece. It is legendary to me, and I'm voting for the Queen of the Hills, the Queen of the Heart, and the Queen of the Beautiful Tattered Coat.
Lovely. Kevin Rice, is it going to be Coat of Many Colors, or is it going to be Here You Come Again? This is when it gets hard. It gets hard.
It's hard because, like, Here You Come Again is like me, 7 years old, in the back of my parents' station wagon, at the lake. Like, it was such a big song for me, and like definitely played with dolls to it. Like, definitely one of those like in a room by yourself singing her song, like, oh, here you come. And like you're just like you're like a little gay kid thinking like this is such a great song, and I love it. It's so sweet, and it's fun, it's easy to sing, and so popular, and like you could sing it with your grandparents, you could sing it with your parents. So I think for me, it's super nostalgic. That song could have been sung by Olivia Newton-John at the same time. Like, it's that's the era.
Great
that was
point.
that era. A lot of really popular singers from that era could have sang that song and done super well with it because it's a pop song.
Yep.
It's just written really well. So
great point.
It's not like Dolly made it. She made it a hit, but again, Olivia could have made it a hit too.
Uh-huh.
So thinking about, I'm going to go with Curtis, and I'm going to change mine to Coat of Many Colors.
Jonny Minogue, where are you on this one? Is it going to be Coat of Many Colors, or is it going to be Here You Come Again?
I appreciate the arguments. I was not from Appalachia. I appreciate what everyone's saying. I appreciate like Barry Mann and Cynthia Weil, like they're part of the Brill Building. They were writing songs for decades. Somewhere Out There was one of their songs in the 80s. I'm Gonna Be Strong. They worked for the Crystals. And yes. Olivia Newton-John could have had a hit with this song. Dionne Warwick could have had a hit with this song. A lot of people could have had the hit with that song, but she did her own version of it. And I feel like that is being able to take something that was from another artist, another group of songwriters, and make it her own. I think that I appreciate what she did with this song. I'm going to keep my vote with Here You Come Again, because it has that through line that she takes something that's legendary and makes it her own.
So, plot twist. I actually am going to switch my vote to Coat of Many Colors here. And I think it ultimately comes down to this is a song that's very important to her career because it was the crossover that really kind of made her a legitimate pop act. But if I'm talking about the best single that's Dolly Parton exclusively, nobody else can do Coat of Many Colors. There's not a Here You Come Again Christmas movie that airs on NBC, right? But there is a Coat of Many Colors Christmas movie that airs on NBC. And so I do think it is more intrinsic to Dolly as an artist. And for that reason, I'm going to make it 3-1 Coat of Many Colors, which means we have our final four. We're going to take a quick break to stop traffic in a gunny sack. And we'll be right back with the final four of our best Dolly Parton single debate. At this point in the show, I like to take a step back, see if it shook out the way I expected it to. I also like to add at this point that no matter which of these songs win, we are celebrating all of these entries, and I hope nobody gets salty about what comes next. Curtis said while we were on break that there were no bad songs on this 16, and I think that is true. Every song that went out was a great song, and I do think we lost several really iconic songs along the way. I know that Jonny is bemoaning Here You Come Again. I'm bemoaning Islands in the Stream, and these are not just great songs, they were also mega popular successes for Dolly Parton. But we have a final four of Jolene, a 1 seed, versus I Will Always Love You, a 1 seed, 9 to 5, a 1 seed, versus Coat of Many Colors, a 2 seed. I do think these are incredibly important songs to Dolly Parton and her career. I think these are all great candidates for Final Four, even though it really could have been a top 8, honestly, and they all would have deserved it. So we're going to go around the horn here. Jolene versus I Will Always Love You. I would like to start with Curtis Creekmore. Where are you going?
I can't.
You must.
I can't.
You must.
I can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
There is no winning.
Welcome to America 2025, baby. There is no winning.
There's no winning. It's only how do you lose the least. Oh my God. Can you skip me and come back, please?
Jonny Minogue, I Will Always Love You, or Jolene? Where are you going?
And I love that these songs were allegedly written on the same day.
The
Is
same
this
She said at one
crazy?
point, is it? Yeah, it's nuts. No, she had walked it back saying, I don't know if I did it. Let's go with that. She did.
Yeah.
It said May 22nd, 1973 seems to be the agreed upon day that's when it happened.
Yep.
With that being said, I think that you made an argument about it in the last round about I Will Always Love You. And I think it's an amazing song, but it's Whitney's version that made it to the stratosphere of what it was. So I'm going to go with Jolene because I think that is, as a Dolly song, was the one that was the most emblematic of what she was. So I'm going with Jolene.
Thank you. Kevin Rice, is it going to be Jolene or I Will Always Love You?
Yeah, I remember I said last time about I Will Always Love You, she'll be remembered for that, but she will honestly be remembered for Jolene. Jolene's what everyone, when I'm anywhere in the world, if I sing Jolene, if I'm in Spain and I sing Jolene, people know what Jolene is.
Uh-huh.
It's just, everyone wants to do it. Everyone wants to do it with her. Miley does it. Miley brought it to the new world, to the new generation. And people still don't know that Dolly wrote I Will Always Love You.
Mm-hmm.
So we keep forgetting that. Us as gays, we all know it it's part of our Bible.
Absolutely.
But people don't know that. People don't know that. And Jolene is the song that, almost overdone because you've heard it so much.
So many times,
in your life. But that is her song. That's her credo. It's her brand.
Yep.
Jolene is her brand.
And it is can we just take a step back and recognize Dolly Parton was worried that a woman was going to steal her man. Dolly Parton was worried that she was going to lose her man to some home-wrecking hussy. If that's not relatable,
who worked at a bank.
She was just a bank teller.
But if that's not relatable content, if Dolly Parton is worried about being stepped out on, you can be worried about it too. Curtis Creekmore, Jolene versus I Will Always Love You.
Okay. Oh my goodness. So my drag name is Jolene.
Mm-hmm.
For this reason. This song is amazing. I think I'm just struggling because, yes, I totally agree with you that Whitney has made I Will Always Love You the juggernaut hit that it became. And Kevin mentioned it earlier that when Whitney put that song on the map, people were like, wow, this is amazing. Where did it come from? And then they did a little bit of research and they were like, oh, wow. And it introduced them to Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. It introduced them to this song in Dolly's version, in Dolly's way, which is so totally different. it is a different song than the way that Whitney performs it. And that's why I'm struggling so much, because it's not Whitney's version of I Will Always Love You here. It is Dolly's version, which is on its own an amazing song.
Sure.
It is much more demure. It is a much softer hurt than Whitney's, like, I will always, like, there's just so much, volume to Whitney, whereas Dolly is just so much more soft and reproachful. Like, I am hurt, and I love you, and I will always love you, but I have to go. There are two so different feelings here. I have a feeling, Eric, that you're going to push Jolene forward, and I think that's the right choice. I'm going to vote for I Will Always Love You just because I think it is her magnum opus. I think it is the best song she's ever written, and I think it should move forward. But I'm happy that Jolene is the thing that knocks it out. These are my top two.
Yeah.
This is my top two.
Yeah, so to kind of, and I agree with everything that's been said so far, but to flesh out a little bit what I was saying in the last round is, in our Whitney Houston episode, which you should listen to, I'm pretty sure we got to almost the exact same place where we were debating I Will Always Love You versus I don't remember what the other song was, maybe So Emotional. And the argument we used there was, is it really a Whitney song or is it a Dolly song? And my argument is because it belongs to both of these artists, it actually belongs to neither of them. And so that's why, in my opinion, Jolene has been covered a million times by, I believe, Beyonce including, and nobody can touch it. Nobody can cover that song better than Dolly Parton. They never will. And she wrote it. It is hers. And it is, as Kevin said, doesn't matter where you are in the world. Jolene comes on. Everybody knows that is Dolly Parton, and they immediately get into it. So I am giving it to Jolene here, and it will go into the final two. It's 9 to 5 versus Coat of Many Colors. I would like to start with Kevin Rice. Is it going to be 9 to 5 or Coat of Many Colors?
Oh, I don't know. Do we do this strategically, or do you speak from your heart? It's so hard.
Everybody does it differently, and there's no right or wrong way.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I think that, it's like you want to see the two top queens go against each other. You want to see them both go against each other.
Yep.
You don't want to see, poor little Coat of Many Colors being taken down by either of those. And
Right.
I think it's like, so I honestly think the other two are so huge in so many ways for so many reasons. It just that 9 to 5 has to go.
Jonny Minogue, is it 9 to 5 or is it Coat of Many Colors?
I'm gonna go with the 9 to 5 because again, I just don't have the. I mean, I appreciate Coat of Many Colors, and in my mind, in that last argument, I wanted it to be the West Whitney Houston. I Will Always Love You versus My Name Is Not Susan. I don't think that that's what it was. I don't remember, but that's what in my mind. That's what it should have been.
Absolutely, yes, I love it. So it's going to be 9 to 5 for you. Curtis Creekmore, is it going to be 9 to 5 or is it going to be Coat of Many Colors?
Coat of Many Colors. I'm sorry, dear, but now is not your time. I agree with Kevin. Like, you love that queen. You want her to do well, but she's just not quite at the level of the other three queens that are moving into the top three. I love Coat of Many Colors. I think it is truly like the most representative song of Dolly's past and who she is and why she is who she is. But if this is a best Dolly Parton song bracket, 9 to 5 is a better, more, what's the word? Not approachable or digestible, but pervasive. Like it's more people know that song. And I think it's probably from like a pop perspective, a better written song.
Yeah. One thing we touched upon but haven't really said explicitly is Dolly, and especially like early Dolly, is so authentic. There is an authenticity to her songs and her singing that I think very few other artists achieve. And it comes through in the recordings. That is rare. In live performances, you can get that from other artists. But with Dolly, even in the recorded versions, you're getting a little piece of her soul. And I think that is so true of Coat of Many Colors. It is a snapshot of her childhood. You feel like you are that poor girl, right? 9 to 5 is a whole different thing, and it is a woman in her full power or trying to achieve her full power, and she is sticking it to the man. And I think that is also a hugely important part of Dolly Parton's journey as an artist and as a pop culture figure. We've been saying she's in on the joke, and I think this song is like, you can treat me like I'm a dumb blonde, to reference another one of her songs, but I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. I work my ass off and I'm going to get some respect. And she does. So I'm going to give it to 9 to 5, which gives us the final two of Jolene versus 9 to 5. And I would like to start with Curtis Creekmore. Is it going to be Jolene or 9 to 5?
My smile is like a breath of spring. My voice is soft like summer rain. And you cannot compete with me, Jolene.
So that's a Jolene vote.
Oh, fucking yes. Like,
Okay.
it is everything. It's everything.
It's everything. Kevin Rice, is it going to be 9 to 5 or Jolene?
Well, Eric, we saw her at Tanglewood together.
We did it.
And she came out singing that first, and I was screaming.
Yep.
So we weren't ready.
We weren't ready. We were not prepared.
I was like, why? What? I think Dolly was like, you know what? I'm going to show you I'm God right now.
Yeah.
Let's just get this out of the way.
Yep.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to come out with play my little riff, and people are going to be on there, just on the floor.
Yep.
Or on the grass. It was Tanglewood. But then you can relax after.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, you're not waiting for that last song at the concert. Like, oh, she's going to play Jolene soon. She's going to play, we gotta wait. She was like, let's get this over with.
Yep.
This is my number one song I've ever done. I'm going to get over with now, and then we're going to have some fun and do other stuff. And play 9 to 5 if you're lucky. But
9 to 5!
9 to 5! I was like, oh, Jesus. But yeah, I think Jolene is it's her song.
If Dolly Parton ends up being God, I'm just saying.
I'm good with it.
Yep.
I'm good with it.
She kind of wasn't Grace and Frankie.
She was, that's right.
Right.
Oh,
We
that's
picked the
right,
right
see?
team. That's all I'm saying. The gays picked the right team.
Indeed.
Right.
Jonny Minogue, is it going to be Jolene or 9 to 5?
And I'm coming with stats.
Okay.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Jolene, as of today's recording, 832,771,229 streams. 9 to 5, 777,291,233 streams on Spotify as of today.
Yeah.
The people have spoken. That is 32 million more streams for Jolene. Jolene was my number one anyway. That was my one going through. So I just wanted to throw some facts out there because that's what we do here.
Yep.
And facts and wigs and nails. And we're going to Jolene.
Facts, wigs, nails. That's a t-shirt. Perfect. Yeah, I'm going to make it a clean sweep. I loved 9 to 5. I've been stumping for it the whole time. But I do believe that a song that is essential to who she is as an artist, an important song for her as a songwriter, and the song that I think, well, I hate to say this, but like when the obituary is written, Jolene is going to be in line 1, right? It is just such a critical piece for her. So there you have it, folks. Our pick for the best Dolly Parton single is Jolene. Do you agree? Do you think we should be begging your pardon? Tell us how you really feel by leaving a comment on this episode at greatpopculturedebate.com or find us on Blue Sky or Instagram. While you're there, make sure you subscribe and follow the podcast so you can hear about what new debates are coming soon, vote in open polls, and even decide which topics we tackle next. I want to say thank you so much to my panel. I really do. And I will always love you. And thank you for listening. If you love what you heard, please consider supporting us on Patreon, where you can get even more exclusive content and you get episodes an entire day early. We hope you have a good one. And remember, everyone is entitled to their wrong opinions. Now, let's all go to Dollywood.